What should a 19-year-old focus on to avoid regrets at 30? Story 1, you can't. Nature of life. You're gonna make mistakes. If you spend all your time trying to set yourself up for the future, you'll miss all the fun you can have in your 20s. If you spend all your time partying and having fun, you'll be sorely behind the curve when you start thinking about settling down. Life is about moderation. Go for a little of both. Accept that you will up. You will have things you regret. You'll accidentally hurt people you care about. You'll miss opportunities. You will try things and fail. You'll go through pain and heartbreak and lose friends and everything else. That's life. Enjoy it while it lasts. Story 2. Helping others and cultivating lasting relationships with people across generations. You're going to need friends, alibis, business contacts, and organ donors. Might as well grab that pokeball and catch as many as you can. Story 3 from someone who's 50 plus. Treat everyone like a long-lost friend and you will never be lost. Take a year off and explore and travel, even if it's just in the area you live. Have some fun and enjoy yourself before going neck deep into becoming an adult. Make some memories. Start saving money now. Like seriously, why are you still reading this? Do it now. Even if it's $20 or $50 a paycheck. Try to have an emergency fund of around $2,000. It's enough for most things and small enough to pay back after a short while and pay it back if you use it. Don't get married or think about it until you're at least 25. I got married the first time at 20. Please trust me, don't do it. Learn some trade SS, even if you don't use them in your chosen career. They're always good to fall back on, even if it's just a hobby later. Use a oil-based moisturizer on your face daily. You'll have smoother, cleaner skin, and it helps with acne. Use sunscreen. Story 4. Don't worry about being in a relationship or finding the one. It may seem very important, but there's so much time, and you want to be ready when the right one comes along. Date yourself. Figure yourself out. What you want, what you need. Read self-help books on how to communicate with other people. Decide what your values are and what you believe in. Travel around the world a little if you're able and experience different cultures and ways of living. Spend some time volunteering to get perspective on other people's suffering and to build your character. This was how I started to learn to appreciate what I have and not take things or people for granted. Story 5. Focus on yourself and building strong relationships with good people. If you have quality, success will eventually find you. Money and success are nice, but the older you get, the more you value the best people in your life. They are irreplaceable, but you have to put in the work to make those relationships. Story 6. Unless you had a healthy childhood, then therapy before college. And if you think you had a healthy childhood, still go to therapy. Heck, put off college for a few years, go to work, get insurance, and go to therapy. I'm definitely projecting, but honest to God, unless you are hyping yourself up constantly and boosting your own self-worth without needing friends or partners to do it for you, then you should go to therapy. Story 7, health. Go to the gym 3 times a week at least. Eat well 90% of the time. Take care of your teeth. Appreciate your time. Do the things that aren't fun but will give you the opportunity to do the fun things later, as opposed to wasting your time on fleeting moments of entertainment. Mostly educate yourself. Story 8, healthy work-life balance. Once you break that boundary, it's hard to get it back. Cherish time with your family and friends because you never know when it could be cut short. Take time to work on you, whether it is sitting and reading for 10 minutes a day or going to the gym. Make sure to prioritize yourself at least once a day. Story 9. Take care of your health. Exercise at least 3 to 5 times a week. Don't let yourself get overweight. If you are overweight, tackle that problem now. Way easier to get healthy at 19 and maintain a healthy weight than it is to try to get back in shape in your 30s. Eat whole foods you cook yourself and learn to cook. Avoid processed garbage and fast food. Simple stuff like chicken breast, whole grain brown rice, fruits, and veggies. Anyone can do it. Get a degree. Focus on getting a good paying job. Live below your means and put your saved cash into a retirement account/brokerage account. Save up for a house. Keep in touch with your friends. Even if it seems you keep reaching out, keep doing it. Hard to make new friends later in life, and it's easy to lose them just because everyone gets busy. Story 10. Accepting yourself. Questions like these will yield answers like, you should go wild and party as much as you can, and you should not waste time partying, or you should not waste your time on little romances that leave you nowhere, or you should have fun dating lots of people while you're young. Any of these might be right or wrong for you depending on who you are. No one except you can know what will serve you best. The fact is, everyone has regrets. If you have no regrets, you didn't do much with life, and you'd probably regret it. The way to be happy is to learn to trust your own judgment. Do what you think is right. Do not live your life based on what other people tell you is best for you. And when you're 30, no matter what you did with your 20s, be happy with where you are right now. Story 11. Building your mindset so you don't look back and regret. You could do everything perfectly and achieve great success, but look back with regret if that's how your mindset is focused. If you're always thinking the grass is greener, you'll always feel that regret. Shift your mindset and you won't. Story 12. Stay somewhat fit. Do a sport. Brush your teeth, use sunblock, get some decent education, stay far away from drugs and addictive substances, take care of your mental health. The big way to do that is to get rid of bad people out of your life ASAP. Travel a lot. Story 13. Spend time developing, connecting to your inner self so that you live authentically and prioritize what actually matters to you. We only have so much time and energy, and if you live in autopilot trying to keep up with the Joneses, internalize society's life script, you may be sorely disappointed by the outcome. Story 14. Education, training, and experience. Whether it be college, a trade school, or working as a hopefully paid intern or apprentice to someone in a SED profession, you need to be constantly improving your knowledge and SS with a clear goal in mind. The more knowledge and SS you possess, the better your chances of landing in a job that will allow you to be financially independent and stable. An employer is only going to pay you what you're worth to them. If you do not possess any knowledge or SS that makes you useful to them, they are not going to pay you very well. Thus, you need to be constantly proving yourself more useful. You need to ensure that you reach a decent financial stability, independence sometime in your early 20s. If you wait too long, like in your 30s, it is going to be increasingly difficult to build up enough retirement savings to allow you to survive once you hopefully retire in your mid to late 60s, and you'll regret it. Story 15. You will often regret the shots you don't take even more than the ones you miss. Focusing on avoiding regrets is tepid, anxiety-driven approach to life that you will come to regret in time too. Have some common sense to avoid likely traps. Learn how to survive in the moment and how to recover or mitigate risks when things go bad. Story 16. This is one I see on Reddit a ton. Don't get obsessed with keeping a small circle of friends. There is literally nothing wrong with acquaintances and hobby-specific friends. If you enjoy someone's company, they're probably worth staying in touch with, even if they're not a best friend. As you get older, you never know where life will take you. And maybe that circle of 2 people is harder to see or busy with life, and not always available on demand. But maybe a more extended acquaintance network can step up. I've had acquaintances get closer, and good friends drift further. It happens over life. Life isn't like high school and college where you see everyone damn near every day. Story 17. I made a ton of mistakes when I was in my 20s. Drugs, alcohol, women, partying, and carrying on. Spent untold thousands on stuff that I didn't need. If I could go back, I would do it all over the same way. Those experiences made me who I am today, and even though some of them hurt in the moment, they were good life lessons. If I didn't do some of the things I did, I would have regrets. And what I did manage to do was put $100 of every paycheck into a RRSP, then later a TFSA. If you can put in more, do it. Now I have a good nest egg that's still building for retirement. In your 20s, do what you want. Live life on the wild side, and have fun so you won't regret missing out on anything when you're in your 30s when you want to settle down. Story 18. Preventative measures for your health. Maybe things won't crop up by the time you're 30, but if you don't take care of yourself, things will definitely start to crop up by 40. Things like sunscreen, exercise, stretching, a balanced diet, dental care, preventative health checks, taking care of your mental health, etc. will give you a longer and healthier life. Story 19. Debt. Use one credit card and perhaps one backup, and try to pay it off each month. CCs do not give you more buying power. They take it away since you have to pay stiff interest fees. You're borrowing money, taking out a loan, to buy unessential things. Aside from a house and a car, try not to borrow money. Save your money and pay with cash. Story 20. Health and stress management. Eat well, exercise 3 times a week doing whatever you like, and most importantly, do not stress about small things. Pick the top 3 things that are important to you, and only worry about those. Much easier said than done, but a positive mental outlook is critical for building yourself up through your 20s. I'm right around your target age, and my only regret is not putting my health as my #1 priority. Not that I am necessarily unhealthy, but I wish I had spent more of my energy on it. Story 21. Truth is, there is far too much to do in this world to not have any regrets by 30. And even if you did everything other comments suggest, there will always be something you are going to find that you regret. Regrets are part of life, and the goal is to make peace with them when they pop up. That's part of finding happiness in the life you have. Story 22. Learn to be alone while also being able to spend time with people. I see a ton of people who hop into bad relationships because they just can't handle being alone with their thoughts, but being totally alone can get depressing very quickly. I think vulnerability is another important one in the right situations. I always say a relationship is a trust fall, and if you have a shield up the whole time, you'll never let the right person in when you do find them. Know your lane. Set goals for what you're looking for in a job. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but I did know I'd like to work from home and have a clear path to 6 figures with time. Also, a good company. I've worked with great people at a bad company, and you show up for the team but hate going to work every day. Don't live outside of your means. People think they should have everything they want as soon as they can buy it, and not when they can afford it. Cars depreciate quick. I've heard a 7-year-old car is the typical range for its price to drop while still giving you reliability. If you can't afford that, there's nothing wrong with something like an old Corolla. I made fun of my buddies that have them, but I was going to clown with them either way. Learn SS like cooking, storing food properly to keep it good longer, and gardening because groceries are expensive and whatever person you cook for will love it. Be proactive with health and not reactive. This makes more sense the older you are, and I'm only in my late 20s. Already feel my back pain and knee pain from doing dumb things, and now I'm playing catch up with things like stretching multiple times a day. Have fun and live in the moment. This might be the most important if you're someone who spends too much time planning for the future. It's good to have goals, but you'll watch your life fly by if you don't enjoy the now. Story 23. Safe intimacy. Don't fall for, "It's better without the condom," or "I'm allergic." Better to be safe and find another partner if that's an issue they won't compromise on. Can still get STDs without protection. Be smart with spending saving. Money comes and goes, but you don't want to worry about finances. Save what you can. Avoid any workplace drama, keep to yourself. Might be cool making friends at work, but keep it at a workplace level. The more they know, the more they'll gossip. If you get a credit card, really need to be careful and safe. Pay off the debts when you have them. Never spend more than you have in the bank. Always be aware of what's in your bank account. Story 24. Yourself. Don't get caught up in the adult checklist of going to school, get married, buy a house, have kids, etc. There's so many paths you can take in life that will be fulfilling and bring you happiness. If the above is what you want, by all means go for it. But when I turned 30, I found myself saying I lived my 20s for everyone else, and my 30s are going to be for me. Story 25. Develop AS that you can always fall back on. For example, master the art of house painting or cabinet work. Then as you age, you have an escape hatch. You find yourself in a job you hate, you're gone. If you want to go back to school to further your education, you can. Trust me, that is exactly what I did. Story 26. Get a trade if you're not focused on third-level education. You'll be done with it by 23, 24, and you'll have a decent employment safety net for good. Think ones like diesel mechanics. People with loads of money always need diesel engines repaired. Boats, agricultural equipment, buses, third-party state contractor, etc. And people who can fix them are hard to find. It pays exceptionally well. Story 27. There are 3 fundamental money traps. Unexpected children, divorces, and high-interest debt, 5% plus. If you can avoid those 3, live within your means, and passively invest, you'll be golden by your late 20s with a solid foundation to build upon. Mind you, that is very hard to do and will require a decent amount of sacrifice, but you'll be more than happy with what it cost. Money is only a means to an end, but a lot of ends become unreachable when you're around with those 3 money traps. Having good financial standing in your 30s will open a lot of doors, including marriage, children, and fun money. Story 28. Don't rush into university or any other life decision just because it seems like the right thing to do. Explore your interests, weigh your options, and pursue what genuinely excites you. Your health is your foundation. Commit to activities that make you feel fit and strong, whether it's the gym, running, or yoga. Your future self will thank you for building these habits early. Habits like smoking can be a lifelong struggle to break. Save yourself the effort and expense by steering clear from the start. Start tracking your spending, setting budgets, and saving money even in small amounts. Building financial discipline now will make a huge difference in the future. Want to learn something new but feel scared? Do it anyway. Growth often begins at the edge of your comfort zone. Do it alone. Do it tired. Do it scared. Just do it. Don't settle in jobs that don't fulfill or challenge you. Be confident in your ability to seek out bigger and better opportunities. Counseling or therapy can be life-changing. Don't hesitate to access services, including free ones offered by charities. It can save you a lot of heartbreak and emotional turmoil in the future. Trust in your potential. Consistency and determination can help you achieve goals, even if the results take time to appear. Nothing happens overnight, but they do happen. And when they do, boy, it feels good. Be your own best friend. Speak to yourself like you are your own best friend. This can help you avoid situations/friendships/relationships which are not healthy and/or damaging. Your time is your most valuable currency. Don't spend it on people or activities that don't bring value or joy to your life. Invest wisely. Most importantly, don't time life too seriously. Have fun, explore, and enjoy the ride. My 20s were not what I planned. God, I didn't enjoy most of it, but I have learned a lot, and trying to find the positives and learning opportunities in it all. Story 29. Take your health seriously. Time starts to go by fast, and your physical fitness will slip unless you keep up with it. At 18, I used to be able to run forever. I remember at 19 or 20, I woke up one morning and just decided I'd go on a 13-mile run around town. Now I'm in my 30s, and I get winded quickly. My body hurts. I'm in the process of getting back in shape, but it would have been easier if I just never got out of shape. Story 30. Form good habits. Start as soon as you can. Get to the point where they're second nature, so by the time you're 30, it doesn't feel like a chore. Go to the gym, brush your teeth and floss, eat well, be careful with money, treat people with respect and decency. You'll thank yourself for those habits at 30. Story 31. Start saving money now in any kind of 401k or mutual funds. At 19, you will have the benefit of an entire working life of compounding, and that earns you serious money for retirement. I know it's expensive to live, especially if you're totally on your own at 19, but even $100/month pizza and beer money adds up. And at 19, don't focus on what you want to do career-wise for the rest of your life. You have the luxury of trying different things and study paths to fit your loves. If you do what you love, it's tough to call it work. Story 32, easy ones. Find some sort of physical activity you like. Walking, hiking, running, working out, or a beer league sport. Staying active gets tough, fast. Start cutting out some of the junk food. An easy one, just cut sugar drinks out. No more soda, energy drinks, etc. Limit alcohol intake. It's cool to beat your body up in your teens and 20s. You pay the bill in your 30s. Speaking of bill, avoid living on credit now. Live on what you make. Credit should be avoided as best you can. Manage your credit rating by having a monthly bills card that you use to pay your mandatory bills on, and then pay off immediately. Don't even bring this card out with you. Lastly, start your retirement Roth IRA. Contribute like $100 a month if you can, more if you can. I shot for 5% of my paychecks to go into that account. Now at 36, I have a lot more money in my retirement than I expected. And by the time I do retire, I'm expecting to have well over $1 million in there, pushing 2, I hope. Who knows with inflation, but still, invest in your retirement now. Story 33. Write a list of achievable goals for how you want your life to be. When choices come up in your life, take the one that moves you closer to those goals. I did this at 15, finished my list at 28. Just enjoyed life since then. Your goals won't be the same as anyone else's, but don't worry about it. Make the choices that are right for you and sod what society or anything else says you should want. Story 34. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Avoid settling for what's easy or comfortable. When you feel too comfortable, challenge yourself to grow by leveling up. That's how success happens. Learn to say no when necessary and stop trying to please everyone. Focus on your own happiness and growth. Story 35. Fitness, health, education, and finances. Learn to budget. Make saving a regular habit and start investing, not trading, as soon as you can. Time in the market is king. Regular contributions to your well-diversified investment portfolio when started early will outperform through compounding interest. Spend some time learning how your body works and what happens when it breaks. Common diseases, lifestyle diseases, presentation, treatment, and maintenance. It's the most complex machine in existence, and your one and only meat suit. Can't do when you are sick, and a healthy body gives a platform to a healthy mind. Story 36. Being good to yourself now makes life easier. For example, learning to not be so hard on yourself helps you to live a less stressful life, as life gets more stressful the older you get. Learning to take care of your physical health, like your teeth or going to the doctor, helps keep your health longer. Learning genuine SS, people SS, handiwork SS, etc., stuff like that. Story 37. Long-term health and forming healthy habits and not wasting time on others' drama. Never stress over bull. If you are waiting tables through college and some manager wants you to miss Christmas at your grandmother's, so your section is covered, then they can off. Don't trade your time with loved ones for someone else's success. Story 38. Keeping it optimum. You try everything you want / be chaotic enough, enjoy life. But there's a limit, like neither shouldn't regret not doing anything nor doing something. If you are passionate ABT what you learn, find a job in the field as fast as possible before you lose the fresher title, even if it pay less, and don't wait for the perfect salary from the beginning. Also healthy food and skincare. Story 39. Accept that regret is a part of life. Spend your 20s saving money, being healthy, and focusing on your career, and you'll regret not having enough fun and enjoying your youth. Spend your 20s wilding out, and you'll regret not doing all the responsible stuff. It's best to do a little of both, but no matter what, you're going to regret some of your choices. And that's okay. Story 40. Start long-term saving right now, even if it's a tiny amount. Time is on your side, and it will add up. Set financial goals. Be alone, and understand who you are and who you want to be. Think about what you want, what you really want. Work toward that every day. Floss your teeth. Get in the habit of regular exercise and always get enough sleep. Eat as clean as you can. Story 41. As someone who recently turned 30, my only regret from that time is gaining weight. I enjoyed eating unhealthy foods and spending all my time playing video games and not exercising. I kept up my dental hygiene, was frugal with my money, but could have done just a little to stay trim without having any less fun. Story 42. Get a little money saved up so you can go travel for a while. It doesn't have to be a long time, but living in different countries and experiencing different cultures is invaluable. Your brain and personality are solidifying and will have a greater impact on you than if you started traveling at 30 or 40. Research things you find interesting and keep your eyes and ears open for opportunities to work or make money in a field that seems tolerable to you. If it's enjoyable, even better. Be smart with your money and try to buy assets of any kind as early as possible. The single worst place for your extra money is your bank account. You want to save with assets that will beat or at least keep up with inflation. College is great, and you should focus on that if you go, but it's very debatable whether it's worth getting into serious debt for it. If you're going to graduate with $100K plus in debt, I'd consider going a different direction. Focus on yourself. Figuring out what's important to you can take all of your life if you don't ever stop to think about it. Story 43. Don't just get into a relationship because it's the thing to do. It's okay to be single even for a while. There is plenty of time to find someone. Better to regret spending your 20s not in a relationship than in a relationship that didn't work out because you weren't right for each other, and that's now crashed and burned. Story 44. A lot of good financial and health advice here, but not seeing a lot about mental health. Even at 19, you've suffered some trauma. Therapy isn't just for people who are broken. You can use it as a normal, well-adjusted person to learn tools for coping when stuff gets hard. Also, hobbies. I wish I would have taken up rock climbing, hiking, and skiing when I was younger. Learning new things in your 30s is totally fine, but man, my recovery is a big one nowadays. Find something that brings you joy and spend time with it, whatever that may be. Story 45. Pay into a pension. Even if it's only a small fixed amount, you wouldn't believe how much that increases in value and you won't miss it. I could have joined a pension scheme at 18 but didn't because I was a kid. Probably going to cost me pound 200K if not more for that decision. Fortunately, I made other investments later in life to offset this failure. Story 46. Focus on yourself. Study, exercise, build your career, invest in a private pension, know yourself, be brave, stretch yourself, prioritize your self-sufficiency over everything else. Don't take from anyone. Look for value and don't compromise. Seek an equal or someone who inspires you to be all you can be rather than the slob you want to be. Don't pick a leech. The question should always be this. If it's a zombie apocalypse, would I choose this person as my partner? Would I trust them if they hit the fan and my money and wealth were worthless? If you can yes, then you have a keeper. Story 47. Make just enough mistakes to not regret anything or act like a child in middle age. But don't mess up so much. You're stuck with serious repercussions, both physical, mental, or career and family-wise. Learn to cook a bit for yourself. Remember, brains don't stop growing until 25. Be open to therapy and starting to build good habits. Find topics you're interested in and expand on those however you can. Surround yourself with good people and give big ideas a shot. Story 48. Finding something that makes you sweat that you enjoy. Lifting weights is the best in the long run, but it's far more important to just have a habit of exercising. Trying to start that once you've passed your physical abilities in your 20s is infinitely harder. Learn how to save a little bit really doesn't need to be much. Finance people will tell you save as much as possible, and they're right. But life is all about memories, so prioritize those first, especially when you're young. But even if it's $50 a month, learn to flex that muscle so it's easier once you get more serious about your finances. Story 49. Health, including mental and dental, and SS. Learn how to do things, learn languages, learn some world history to the degree where you have a basic understanding of the current conflicts and how they came about. And build good diet and fitness habits now, like today. Right now, you can likely eat just about anything, sleep when you want to, and sit at weird angles for hours, and the next day be fit and healthy. That will no longer work when you're 30 plus, and learning how to not to stupid to your body at that age is a lot harder. And teeth can't be brushed back to health. They need to be kept healthy. Every day I know it root canal treatments and crowns more, and they never really feel perfect ever again. And with learning, the goal is to actually learn the thing, not to earn a piece of paper that says you've learned it. That's a nice bonus, but don't settle until you feel that piece of paper tells the truth. Story 50. Seeing as much of the world as possible whilst you're young, healthy, and have no ties. It's okay to not have a career in mind straight out of school. You need to experience life a bit first. I spent the first 5 years of my 20s partying and traveling, then got myself a proper job and knuckled down. In my 30s now with a good wage, stable home life, and not feeling like I missed out on anything. Make the most of your youth. Story 51. Take care of your fitness. And I don't just mean exercise, but work on your mobility and functional strength. I am part of the demographic that focused on the looking fit rather than feeling fit side of things, and I am now 27 trying to catch up on my joint mobility and functional strength to protect my knees, shoulders, hip, etc. Also, learn how to cook healthily. When you start your career, it'll be a lot easier to make excuses to eat easy things like freezer food and fast food, or not eating at all. Learning how to cook well and efficiently when you're young will make you feel so much better when you're older, and you'll have way more energy. Also, focus on a good sleep routine. I sleep well, but have disordered sleeping, and it's a hard habit to break. Get into a sleep routine, and your body will love you when you're older. Trust me. Story 52. Community college is worth the price tag saved. Learn about money, how it works, where it comes from, why interest rates change. If you have a job, save money. If they offer 401k, sign up immediately. You should have 6 months of expenses saved in a high-end yield savings account. Credit cards are not free money. However, if you pay the full balance monthly, you will pay 0% interest. This way, you can take advantage of credit cards' benefits without the debt. Do not go into credit card debt. It's a scam. Interest rates equal sign cost of borrowing money. Look up how much money you're paying to borrow the money before making the purchase. Story 53. Have fun while you have your health. Save whatever money you can, open a Roth IRA or something similar. It's really easy nowadays. I use Fidelity. Don't catch any felony charges while having aforementioned fun. They will stay with you forever. Don't get addicted to any substances. They will also haunt you forever. Also, take care of your teeth. Story 54. Lots of great suggestions, but to me, I would recommend everyone to solo travel for a period of time before starting your career, because it becomes nearly impossible once you do. Plus, adding relationships into the equation, etc. You'll find yourself faster with some traveling than doing anything else in that period of time. Work will always be there waiting when you get back. Plus, you can also focus on learning SS while away with how accessible things are today with online courses. Story 55. Take care of your teeth. Wear earplugs while mowing the lawn, ECT. Start investing money. Doesn't have to be much, just do it. Be conscious of what you eat to avoid health issues that'll come about in your 30s. Ultra-processed foods and sugar, try to keep those to a minimum. Also, start taking multivitamins and stay hydrated. Story 56. Relationships should make you feel better about yourself, not worse. Especially true for romantic relationships, but also for friends and family. I'm not saying every fight is breakup worthy, but if you find that you are consistently feeling low or your self-esteem is being eroded by someone, it's okay to stop talking to them. Story 57. Some of these are going to be more specific, but if I could give my younger self one piece of advice, it would be to start practicing being comfortable being disliked by some people. So much of my existence was focused on meeting other people's expectations of me. I never stopped to consider who I wanted to be or what I wanted to focus on. Once I started focusing on me, I was not prepared for the resistance and pushback I got from people, and realized that I wanted people to like me so badly, and that had become so much, or my identity, it was hard to separate from it. Story 58. Start a money-saving envelope system. Work hard but still enjoy your earnings in a constructive way. Example, the amount of stupid money I spent on Forever 21 when I should have invested in a timeless handbag, or saved to go on a trip with your friends instead of door-dashing meals for no real reason. Story 59. Get an education in basic finance, specifically how to manage interest in spending and savings. Also, understand that there will be many opportunities that will come your way. Be decisive when they arrive. You're in a very exciting place. Enjoy the journey, have fun, follow your intuition. Don't settle for less. Story 60. Trying new things and not getting locked down too early. Too many of my students, chemical engineers, graduate on Saturday, get married on Sunday, and start work on Monday. That's not an exaggeration. Some do pretty well with it, but I also see our midlife crises and deep regrets in the making. I occasionally mention taking time to figure out their lives, but get shocked and horrified looks for my effort. Story 61. I'm 25, and I feel I can speak on this being a little over halfway there. Focus on saving money, but don't beat yourself up to spend it. Focus on a real career. Don't stay at dead-end jobs unless that's all you've got. Appreciate the relationships and connections you have and that you'll make along the way. If you're in any debt, get out of it quickly. Work on your credit. Story 62. Maybe you need to make some honest mistakes in pursuit of what you think you want. It might teach you what you really want and are willing to fight for. If you can white-knuckle your way to being the best version of yourself, good. If you're like me, you might need to make some mistakes and then really own up to them. Just be honest. Story 63. I feel a lot of these suggestions are basically making/keeping/maintaining good habits. That's really the trick everyone is trying to do. Which good habits you have and which ones you need to work on are based on the individual. My son, early 20s, has excellent money habits but poor grooming habits. Doesn't take care of hair and beard mostly. It's clean but very scruffy. Looks like a homeless guy, basically. Close friends and family usually can point you in the right direction. If you don't have those, then that's what I would suggest working on. Story 64. Better to live and regret the things you've done than regret the things you never did. Or in other words, do what you want to, but don't cross your boundaries. Do who you want, men, women, but respect a no. And go where you want to. The world is big and full of adventure. Story 65. Not working hard and dedicating yourself to a passion. Getting money is a vital part of living and is tough once you don't build a good resume. You want to have a stable future with options to do as much as you want, or at least avoid financial stress. Get yourself dedicated in school to do something or start work experience. You will be glad you did. I'm 3 years shy of 30. I'm glad I did well in school. I'm benefiting with a good level of financial freedom and looking forward to the future without stress. Story 66. Sacrifice everything you can to put every possible penny into investments. Drive a junker and have no car payment. Hold on to your phone through as many generations as you can. Don't get Grubhub every day. 10 years later, you'll thank your past self because you'll be retiring earlier than 75% of your friends just on that alone. Story 67. Alcohol isn't as cool as your peers think it is right now. If you choose to drink, then do it moderately. You're much less likely to fall into other pitfalls if you mostly remain in charge of your faculties. From saving money to unplanned pregnancies, abstaining from alcohol will help. Trying to escape from life with numbing isn't a long-term solution and won't build resiliency. Story 68. Don't rush into getting married and having kids. Don't rush into going to college. Working the trades is a super lucrative career path if you don't mind some actual hard work. My buddy just got out of his apprenticeship as a plumber and makes almost as much as my wife, who's a nurse. He's single, has no kids, and has zero money problems. Brush your teeth. Even just 2 minutes a day can save you literally thousands of dollars and some incredible pain later in life. I've had friends think they need a brand new car or tricked out pickup and end up paying some insane amount of money because of interest rates. You don't need flashy or brand new. You need something to get you from A to B safely. Get some credit cards. Use them, pay them off every month. Build up that credit score, as it will help you so much in your adult life. Renting doesn't count towards building credit, which is horse, but having debt, credit cards, and paying off said debt does. For instance, get a gas credit card and use it only for fuel. You'll get some kickbacks and build up that score. Have pets, care credit, etc. If it looks or sounds too good to be true, it probably is. With all things moderation. Healthcare isn't cheap. Take care of your body. Try and eat healthy. Stretching and calisthenics is free and doesn't require a gym membership. I destroyed my body in the military as a young man, and I'm still paying for it at 43. Don't worry about making hundreds of friends. Worry about making that one ride or die friend. Quality over quantity. Boyfriends and girlfriends come and go. Don't get hung up on losing someone and miss opportunities that are right in front of you. Learn to say no and establish boundaries. Like when you have a parent obviously lying about needing money, but you feel real bad about telling your mom no, so you keep giving them money, feeding their addiction. Speaking of soaking and alcohol, you ain't missing much by not doing it and saving a load of money. Again, all things in moderation. Story 69. I figure the half of Earth's biodiversity that humans can easily see will disappear over the next 10 years. If you don't do it next year, you'll never walk in a real forest, never see a free creature larger than a shoebox, never see an amphibian, never hear the call of a hawk, never see a bug that isn't vermin. If humanity survives at all, one of the greatest sources of remaining biodiversity will be libraries, where people press live samples into books, and will destroy the books to search for a cure for cancer that's hanging above us in the trees right now. Story 70. If you aren't 100% you want kids, don't have them. Just because the back approved you for X amount didn't mean you need to use all the money. While you're going and healthy, get a workout routine and healthy eating routine. It'll make your life so much easier later. If there's people in your life that are more of a drag on you than lifting you up, cut them off. Those people are not good for you ever and will get worse to get rid of later and cause more of a drag down. Story 71 may be a controversial opinion, but don't fret about it too much and live in a way true to you and learn from the mistakes that come. I say this as someone who at 20 has lived too safely and lived the way others expect me to, and the lack of self has made me realize I actually don't emotionally understand so many things, only I intellectually know they're wrong. Regret doesn't feel nice, but it has a purpose, and without it, we'd repeat said destructive behaviors due to not fully understanding how destructive they truly are, with the obvious exception of murder or other serious crime, which lawfully we really shouldn't do because the consequences are not worth it, and it is just valid common knowledge not to indulge in such wrongdoings. That said, health things like others have mentioned with teeth, stretching, basic needs like movement, all are good things people of our age should do. I certainly need to do more of those things myself, so we're in the same boat. Story 72. Be aware, life isn't full of roses, but finding the little things you take for granted having when you have them. Good health, the ability to enjoy getting up and going outside in the morning when the grass is dewy and cold, getting up and being able to walk in general, a job at all, a roof over your head, whatever you think is for certain, imagine not having it, so that your approach on life becomes less pessimistic, realistic, can be positive, or at least a bit less dark and gloomy. And you might be thinking I'm going on a tangent about mental health, but it has nothing to do with MH, but rather the impact MH has on physical well-being. Science has proven a mental state in a negative view has increased chances of lower pain tolerance, a slightly increased chance of death. The study was those who said they were going to die in surgery versus those who did not had a small increase of percentage of those who died using the same procedures. You see where I'm going with this. No life is not pooping rainbows, but it has an infinite set of options. Some may be extreme measures to get to them, literally walking away from your life, belongings, friends, and family, which is what those who moved continents sometimes did for a new start. But there are always options. Just have to decide if they are worth the cost. Story 73. Learn about basic investing and get some money and start small. Every paycheck put a small amount, like 5 to 10% to start, into investments. It's much easier to start and be consistent before you have the obligations that tend to come later in life. Also, take your health seriously. Don't smoke and learn nutrition basics. Always be active. It's much easier to maintain regular activity and a healthy body if you keep it dialed in all along, instead of clawing back in your 30s or 40s like most people. Story 74. I started lifting weights around that age. I'm 29 now, and my in-laws are being told by their doctor that they should start lifting weights to improve their bone density. They wish they'd started sooner. Whether you're male or female, strength training is great for your health. If you don't have access to weights, there are many strength training workouts out there, even on YouTube, that just use your body weight. If you do have the means to go to a gym or buy weights, you'll definitely see faster results. Regardless, your body will thank you. Story 75. Nothing is important as preventative care for your entire body and mind. Doctors don't know everything. Understanding autonomy is important. Therapy is a really helpful tool, and trying to fit in and being cool just stunts your emotional growth. Find what makes you happy in career and life, and keep taking steps to get there. Failure isn't the end. It's the first step to becoming really good at that thing. Judgment leads to lost opportunities. Story 7630 will come quick. Most people are still in decent shape in their 30s unless they really up. I would say worry about physical fitness and finances more than anything, but also truly appreciate your relatives while you can. By your mid-30s, they might not be around. As a 19-year-old, I would get into a 5-day-a-week workout regimen. I would stop making excuses for ways that I spent money frivolously and have start investing in the S500 as much as possible. Trust me, it will really compound and pay off a lot by the time you are 30, even just $10 per week or $20 per month.